Yes, good morning to everyone, and welcome to my weekly broadcasts. And I hope that everybody is here who is interested. I'm inviting you to share the link to other people, and today is another topic. It's a follow-up. As we had indicated, this will be a weekly matter, a weekly session on disappointed but not discouraged, a journey about doing business in Ghana. This is part 4 in the series, and I want to thank each and every one of you who has been with me on this journey. I want to thank a lot of different people who have called and wanted to know what this is all about, and who have shared the link, and who have invited other people to be part of this. And so, as we always do, 2 Timothy 1 verse 7 says, "For the spirit that God gave us does not make us timid, but gives us power, love, and self-discipline." And as you know, I always also say that if you sow sparingly, you would reap sparingly. But if you sow bountifully, you will also reap bountifully. And we all get what we sow, and we enjoy what we work for. And let me go back to Elmina. And Elmina, what we say is, "Adze wujin owura na ye nya ekomzen." Adze wujin owura na ye nya okom odzen. You think about that as we go along. And once again, let me let people understand that by going through this broadcast, by giving you this experience that I have gone through, I don't mean to say to anybody that I am perfect. No, I'm not. I'm human. I have said that I do make mistakes. My management in Group Indom, they make mistakes. We are human, but eventually, all of us will go and meet our Maker. So if we do good things, we will go and account for it. If we do bad things, we will go and account for them as well. It's up to me, it's up to you to do what you believe is the right thing to do. And if you have done something against somebody, against me, against my companies, please repent. Repent. Correct your actions, and let people understand that you too, you are human. And when we make mistakes, when we are given new information, we must make a correction. And when it comes to GN Bank and related companies, there are some corrections that need to be made. And, when we make mistakes, we put those things on the table openly for everybody to see. And then we take corrective action. Once again, because we recognize that we are human. And let me thank again each and every one of you who has been coming to this platform and viewing this this broadcast. I have a number of documents to show. I have a number of things to go through. Here is a document that says the state of GN Bank assets. I will go through this second half of this broadcast for people to see the state of GN Bank assets. I have heard that somewhere, someone who has had responsibility to take care of the assets has been saying that, the things that we've been showing, they are fake. They are not correct. Well, I'm telling you, everything that I show you here, I have actually personally been a witness of. And so we will show you this as I go along. I have some other documents. I will show you plenty of them. I will show you a number of many different things. I will show you why I have brought these things to the table today, so you can see the evidence of some of the things that have been going on. And somebody had asked me, why do you keep showing documents? Why do you go back and address things of the past? And wouldn't it make it difficult for people to talk to you or to deal with you or whatever? And I say, no. A lot of where we are now, we would have gone beyond this a long time ago if some people had been willing to sit down carefully, patiently, to review the documents that we have, to review the evidence that we've provided about our businesses and about debts owed and so on and so forth. And they say, well, where did you learn this thing about keeping records and all of it? Well, look, if you look at this thing here that I'm holding, which is old and this is a diary. It's a diary, and I've kept diaries. This happens to have been given to me by SIC some years back. This diary is from 2006. And if you go through the diary, you will see, things that I have written in the diary, all kinds of other things that have happened. And indeed, if someone says to me, MCA negotiation, they will say that on the 8th, 9th, 10th of June 2006, we were on it. We were working, trying to bring that thing to fruition. All the things to do with MEDA and all of it, all I have to do is go back and refer to the documents that are there, and I've got the reference. It is important to keep records and keep accurate records, because someday somebody comes and challenges you. Someone comes to accuse you. Someone comes to say something that is not correct, that you have something, not just to defend yourself, but to make your point. Where did I learn this? You might ask. And I have a thing about loyalty. So if you look at what I'm wearing today, take a look at this. The cufflink that I'm showing here is the Deloitte cufflink. This cufflink, this symbol has been a symbol from the Touche Ross days. If you want to know what Touche Ross is, it says Touche Ross. That same symbol is right here, the cufflink. I remain loyal to the Touche Ross that became Deloitte and Touche, that some people now call Deloitte. It gave me a very sound beginning. And so I engaged an early part of my career at that time with Touche Ross. I did some auditing. I did some accounting. I did some financial work for other companies through Touche Ross. Again, that became Deloitte. So I learned to keep records, that it is important to keep documents, and it is important to make sure that they are always readily available. And these days we scan them to even make it easier to keep records. Photographs that I have from years ago are scanned, ready to be accessed and available to share to different people. Now, again, how did I do this? If you look at this document is from 1988. 1988, I was in the US, I was in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and I was a partner with Touche Ross. And again, as I was going through my documents, I found this letter, the original letter. Let me show it properly. You will see that it says Touche Ross, and the date of this letter, maybe you might not see it well, it is August 28th, 1986. And the person who signed this was called Ed Kangas. Ed Kangas was a senior partner for Touche Ross at that time. This is a letter that said, congratulations on your admission to the partnership. I became a partner with Touche Ross, now Deloitte and Touche in the US in 1986. So I joined them prior to 1986. That's how I learned so many of the skills that I'm able to use today. So if you go through this book of Partners and Principles, you'll see names and photographs of the partners and principals of Touche Ross at that time. And if you go further and further into the document, and you go to where the N names are, if you look at where the N names are, you will see that there's one dark-skinned person in there. And that dark-skinned person you see there is me. Okay? That's how I got my beginning. That's how I got to learn a number of the things that I have been using, not just here in Ghana, but other parts of the world. Now, many people have been calling me and have been asking me that, some things have come in the media, in the public realm over the past week, and they want to hear my comment or my take on these things. Some media houses have asked me, why don't you say something? They want to record me. And I have said, no, I don't want to get on record. But this morning, let me say that some of these matters that have been discussed in public, I cannot pretend that I haven't heard anything about them. It will be disingenuous of me, and maybe even hypocritical of me not to say anything about them. Now, what am I referring to? I'm referring to one, statements made by Mr. Chachu Chikata regarding his encounter with the Kufuor administration, the comments former President John Agyekum Kufuor have made about the Vice President, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, and the responses of the presidential candidate, Mr. Alain Kyerematen. I cannot pretend that I haven't heard them. And I cannot also say that the people who have been asking me to make comments here and there, that they should go away, I can't be bothered by it. With regards to Mr. Chikata, what I can say is that I feel for him. I do. I feel for him. But I'm thankful that he is alive and well to tell his own story. I'm not the one to tell his story. But I'm asking that he should tell the whole story. His close association and the influence that he wielded with the late President Jerry John Rawlings and his administration. All of that needs to be recorded in print, including the trial of the former president, how Mr. Chikata, came to be called a financial wizard by the former president, and his legal battles. So all that I'm saying to Mr. Chikata, is that he should tell his story, but he must record it for posterity in some document, in a book or a film, something, so that we can all learn some of the things that are not readily evident, and learn from them, okay? And have administrations also learn from his experience. It's important that we do that. And when the state, I will add this to it, when the state in any country gives you power, it is strong. That power is strong, powerful. But then when the state comes after you, it is heavy. Even when it is coming after you to see if they can establish wrongdoing, it is a heavy thing, and it can break a person. Whether the person is weak or strong, it doesn't matter. It can break you. It can break you. And I know of which I speak, that I have tasted the venom of the old SFO, okay, years ago. And not too long ago, many people don't know this. Not too long ago, during the current administration, I was invited. And I've been invited not once, not twice, but a few times by EOCO, EOCO, for investigation. I'm saying to you that no matter who you are, how clean you are, when those people call you and serve you notice, it shakes you. It shakes you. So the people who have the power to call us to task, to call anybody to task, let them wield that power carefully, respectfully. And so for Mr. Chikata, I'm glad he's here, still here, to tell his own story. After all, he is a citizen, but he must do us all a favor by telling his story. And this reminds me of challenges, some of the challenges faced by entrepreneurs in Ghana. What am I referring to? It is the criminalizing of business behavior. Yes, I know that people who do the wrong things, they must be taken through the legal process properly, whether they're a business person, a politician, whatever else. But there seems to be a trend that has been happening. And that trend that has been happening in recent years says, if you're a business person, and quite often they even forget about the management. They call for the directors, they call for the shareholders. So the entrepreneurs, those who risk their capital, their actions, some people have tried to criminalize them. And in business, you make mistakes. Sometimes you think the currency is going to go this way and it goes the other way. You think that you buy stock and it will appreciate and it doesn't. You give loans in good faith to some people. They come to you and you think they are honest, they're going to do good business, and it fails. Those are business things. You win some, you lose some. But why criminalize the business activity? And why go and call the owners, those who invest, those who give jobs, why criminalize their behavior, their activities, their actions? Why assume immediately that you think something is going wrong, that somebody has deliberately attempted to engage in fraud, engage in all manner of things that are illegal? Why? And this also brings for me to mind, and I must say this as well, what I call the Judas behavior. Judas, Judas, the Judas behavior of some employees and business associates. At the first sight of problems, employees, particularly some of the top management people, they run to the state's investigators to claim that they were mere order takers. That, they just sit there in their offices, and then someone comes, whether it's a director or a shareholder or a business owner, comes and says, do this, do that, but they are not to blame for anything. And even business associates, I've experienced it. They've gone to these state investigation authorities to claim and point fingers away from themselves and to people. Some have gone to point fingers at me, that, I'm a business associate, but I'm just a business associate. Maybe I'm just a shareholder. But he, Papa Kwesindo, he's the one who has directed everything. So if there's anything wrong, it's not me, it's him. And some of these employees, top management people that had been given good salaries, big benefits, at the first sight of problems, they have run to the agencies to say and write statements that, oh, it is not them. They just took instruction, advice. How can I, one person, sit somewhere and every day look at more than 40 different enterprises and go and tell every one of them in 8 hours of the day, do this, do that, take this, give me this, give me that. It's not possible. That's what I call the Judas behavior. If we continue to do that in this country, who will invest here? Who is from here? Who is a Ghanaian? Who will invest? Who will continue to give jobs? But those state agencies, those in government, those in administration, when people like these run to you, shouldn't you sit quietly and try and understand what is going on and take your time before you reach conclusions and before you make decisions that affect so many different people? That is what should be happening. That is what should be happening. And I have copies of the invitations. First from Iyoko when COP Edukoku was in charge. And then COVID came and other things came in. Why? Is that the thank you get from starting a business? Starting a business? Absolutely not. So now let me go with regards to VP Dr. Bawumia, former President Kufuor, and candidate Chair Martin. I want to say clearly, that this is an MPP matter. It's not my matter. I am not, and I have never been a member of the MPP. I have served in an MPP administration led by Mr. Kufuor. He remains somebody I am grateful for giving me the opportunity to serve and demonstrate to Ghanaians what I can do for my country. I did not add to Ghana's debt. I brought grants that have made visible change happen in this country. Now, let me say that, look, I have some history with candidate Chair Martin, Alan Chair Martin. Back in 2001, when I was proving difficult and former President Kufuor wanted me to serve in his administration, he looked for me everywhere. At that time, I was doing a consultancy job with the African Development Bank. He called me, he tried to reach me. I didn't want to become a minister in any administration. What I wanted to do, I said, if you want to utilize my experience, I'd be happy to serve as chairman of Investment Promotion Center. Try and promote business and activity within Ghana and with people from outside of Ghana to come to Ghana, because I thought that I had learned something that could be useful, particularly my experience with Deloitte throughout Africa. But he wasn't interested in that. So again, when I was proving quite difficult, it is Alan Chair Martin that he called to come and find me. At that time, the incoming President Kufuor's office was at the old State House building. So he took me to him. And that's how we engaged in the discussion that ended with me saying to then incoming President Kufuor that I have to go and talk to my Africa region partners. And I'm doing a job with the African Development Bank and it's not done yet. So I'll go and think about it. Of course, he did a number on me. He didn't allow me to think about it. I was there in Abidjan and I heard the announcement that I had been made a minister in his administration. And I did serve. So people should know that Mr. Chairman and myself, I know some things that have gone on between the two of us. I also know the bonds between Mr. Kufuor and Mr. Chairman. I know that there are strong bonds. I know the feelings Mr. Kufuor has about his NPP administration. But what I'm saying here is that it's unfortunate something has come between the two of them. Something that shouldn't have happened. And I do hope that with time they resolve them. Because I know a little bit about the intentions of Mr. Kufuor, former president. But I am not going to wade in the middle of this. That is up to them to resolve and to use the long-standing relationship between the two of them to get it resolved. I'm not going to contribute to that controversy in any way at all. But I need to set some records straight. Look, I've heard some people talk about HIPC. I heard some people talk about Millennium Challenge and all of it. Some people even had brought my name in there about how I got into the administration and why I may be supporting this person or that person. Look, one record I want to set straight is how I went back into the Kufuor administration the second term. If you ask for President Kufuor, he should tell you. He should tell you. And Ambassador DK Osei should know this, be able to testify that indeed at the end of the first term, former President Kufuor and myself, we said goodbye to each other. That he was going to work with members of his political party, NPP, and I should also go and mind my own business somewhere else. So we did that. And so that essentially was the end of that relationship for the first term and beyond. So I started saying, one door closes, another door opens. So why did I go back and serve that second term? Today I'll tell you. Go back and find the people who were in charge of the World Bank in Ghana, the World Bank rep in Ghana in 2005, the DFID in charge in Ghana person in 2005, and the person in charge, the IMF rep in Ghana. These three people in 2005, January, are the three people who called me and talked to me and said, we think you can make a contribution to what's happening in this country, that some strides have been made, certain things have been done. They knew of my involvement with the HIPC initiative and said, if you would agree to go back in the administration, but to work on public sector reform, we will support you. And I said, how? They said, we'll find the money for you to execute the programs. And I said, but Kufuor and myself, we have said goodbye to each other. They said they have their ways. I don't know. But somehow, after the conversation, I was called back and had a chat with former President Kufuor. That's how come I became the Minister for Public Sector Reform. And I must tell you, go back and check all the reforms that we did, that we executed, including the planning for the reform. If you here's the brief outline of the reform program, public sector reform program, and the detail of the public sector reform program, the putting the plans together, the preparation, all of those things that we did, they weren't funded from Ghana government budget. I got grants from DFID, from the World Bank, from the IMF to do the reforms. including the pension reforms that have brought all of these pension companies that reformed the old SNIT program that now we have tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, all of those things, where we had the late Mr. Bediako, who was made the chairman of the pension reform committee. We funded all of those things, and they came from DFID, from the World Bank and others. So much so that some people didn't agree with me. They thought, I was getting all these funds, we were spending them here and there. We engaged in reform. So I want you to get that record straight. But I also want people to understand that, look, the thing that made HIPC move, one of them, not the only thing, this thing that we called the Agenda for Growth and Prosperity, and you see that in small letters up there. It says Ghana's Poverty Reduction Strategy from 2003 to 2005, and in bold letters, Agenda for Growth and Prosperity. There were some people who did not agree that we should do anything like this. But we persevered. And this was an essential document, an essential requirement. This was the executive summary of what led to this HIPC thing. Now, anything that succeeds, it has many followers, many admirers, many people who want to claim credit. I'm saying to you, ask Mr. Osafo Maafo. The person who led that thing was John Agyekum Kufuor himself. And all of the rest of us, we contributed to what is it that happened. But I will show you one last document on this matter in terms of setting the record straight. When it comes to Millennium Challenge Compact, this is one of the original copies of the agreement, which was delivered to me personally. This is a document that has my signature there. Okay, and I'll show you, because it's important for people who go around talking, and one day I will tell you the full story of what some people did after we had done the work, okay, to come and claim. Look, see the signature here, okay, of the man who was in charge of the Millennium Challenge Corporation on this side, on that side, there. And then the other signature, that's my signature. This represented 547 million and 9,000 US dollars. It's a grant given to Ghana. Now, all I'm trying to say is that arguments back and forth about who did what, who contributed to what, who was part of anything, now it's all history. Let's put the history behind us. Let's look ahead. If you want to, win power, what are you going to do for Ghanaians? What are you going to do? The history is past. Some of us, we did our work to wipe the debt of Ghana almost clean, almost to zero. Then some Latter-day Saints have come. They have come and they have done things to make it all worthless. The sacrifices, the challenges we overcame, and have burdened us with huge debt today. And what are they saying? What are they saying? They should have learned from the things in the past. So I will not wade into the controversy between Mr. Chamatin and former President Kufuor over Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia. Past. Leave it alone. Leave it alone. But the past should also show us which direction we should go. So let's focus on which direction we should go. Now, let me indeed say to everyone, and I remain convinced that what happened to GN Bank was not a matter of accident. It didn't happen by accident. It was a calculated attempt. even if at the beginning that was not the case, some architects of that attempt in this present administration, they intentionally did this to collapse not just GN Bank. They knew the relationships, but they didn't understand what the potential impact on thousands of Ghanaians would be. They didn't understand that. So they blindly went through it, blindly, and did things, that have hurt thousands and thousands of Ghanaians. This past week, I went through Kumasi to Techiman, to Atebu Buamanting. I went to Tamale. I went to Bibla, and then through the Eastern Corridor to Kajepi and Pasa, all of that, down to Hohoi and back to Accra. I did that. And it's not just that I enjoy driving on rough roads and going on this tiresome journey. I wanted to, for the last time before this December 7th, and definitely before a change of administration, because no matter what happens, there will be a new administration come January 2025, to see for myself, have I gotten something wrong? What's the state of the assets of GN Bank? What has been the collateral damage that has happened, throughout the country? And what are people saying about what has happened there? And so let me serve a notice to some people based on what I've saw this past week and what I've been experiencing. There are some people who have thought that because GN Bank was collapsed, that Group Indom had gone away, that we wouldn't come back, that we wouldn't do anything at all. And so they have attempted to steal our assets. And I'm using the word deliberately, steal our assets throughout the country. I am going to ask for a notice to be placed in the daily newspapers. Our group had several acres of land at Pantang, for example, Pantang. Some people, I am told, have used state actors and actresses to go and commandeer some of that land and have put up big structures on a significant portion of the land. I'm saying to you that it doesn't belong to you. We will come after everybody to demand our land back. There's some land at Pram Pram. Some minister of state is involved today. Who is a minister of state today? And today I will not mention his name, but his district chief executive knows. Why? I went to Kumasi. There are some people, including one ex-employee of ours, taking over some of our property in Kumasi and claiming that, it belonged to GN Bank. It doesn't belong to GN Bank. Never has. It belonged to one of our other companies. They are living in that property now, in Kumasi. If you go to Tafo, Old Tafo in Kumasi, somebody had gone and removed the ownership, forged documents to transfer the property into his name and then sold it to a couple there in Kumasi, Old Tafo. And they have rented stores to other people. There's another one. 3 properties in Kumasi. Some of them claim that they have people protecting them from the current administration. Whether it is true or not, I'm saying that one way or the other, this administration is going. We are documenting all of them. I've told you earlier, I've learned the art of documentation, keeping records. We will come after each and every one to demand back what belongs to us. Some people, when they got money, when they were working, whether in a bank or investment house or whatever, they bought all sorts of things. They bought all sorts of things. And some, again, a private jet or a nice fleet of vehicles is not something wrong, legitimately acquired. But I haven't bought a jet. I don't own a helicopter. The vehicles that I'm driving in now, they may look good, but I've used them for years. For years. Some 8 years, some 10 years, some 12 years. We maintain them. But what we've used with monies that have come to us, yes, we have developed properties, we have started businesses, we have expanded businesses, and is there something wrong with it? If I had collected all those monies and went somewhere to sit, didn't start any business in Ghana, and to go and enjoy them somewhere, maybe I would have had peace of mind. But now people see visible things and they want to take them, go steal them. And it is not just those things. It is not just those things. It isn't just those things. There are people that were given loans that were acquired then by one of our companies. And they're all over the country. Some of them are saying that, but they heard the president and the governor of the bank saying anybody who had anything to do with us, that debt has been paid. And so we can't come to demand payment for some of those loans because we have been paid. What sort of thinking is that? It's deliberate. And there are some well-performing companies here in Accra and individuals. We have taken some of them to court. They know, you know who you are. Again, I don't want to impugn the integrity of any individual, but you know who you are. We are in court with some of them and have been in court these past 2-3 years. They are employing all manner of different things and are not paying. Some of them are related to this administration, and quietly, maybe some of the people in administration don't know. Their names are being used to delay them paying. So the impact of collapsing a GN bank, I'm saying, is widespread. It has brought all sort of suffering, problems. So even when this administration goes away, we are going to spend years, sometimes in court, sometimes in wherever else, to clean this thing up. All because we've wanted to bring jobs. Right. Again, as I go around, if you, Willency, one of my favorite villages, the building we put up for a bank from First National Savings and Loan days is there, sitting there, doing nothing. And there's nobody else providing financial services there. Bimbilla, what we did there is there. I went and talked to some of the chiefs. And one of the chiefs was saying, oh, my daughter used to work with you in Bimbilla, but now she's been home since 2019. Where is she going to get a job from? One of our managers in Bimbilla has died. And Tamale, some of the properties that we had there, attempt over attempt to try and forcibly, enter those properties and take them. The impact of all of this. Why? Why? So when we say, let's sit down and discuss how we deal with this, then people start to talk strange politics. And some people are even saying, because I decided to tell my story directly to Ghanaians, then if I have anything anywhere, they should put a hold on them, not do anything. Why? We want solutions, not for me, but for everybody that is related. There are employees, there are business people, there are business associates, there's the general economy that's out there that has been affected. If you go to Hohoe, we put up a 3-story building there in Hohoe. It's empty. Empty. And I know the person who put their hands on it saying that, oh, if we're going to auction it, then I should be the one that gets it. I know who that person is. A very prominent person in this country. Very prominent person from the Eastern region. And going through Pasa, there's an office there. If you go to Amantin, if you go to Atebubu, we dug a foundation in Techiman. It is still there at the foundation stage. And we were renting. But the foundation is there. We bought land. I went to see it. I went around to take a look at the Oti region. It is in Raura that we invested in rice production in Raura. Now ECG tells me that I should go and pay tens of thousands of dollars to buy a new transformer so that the big machine that we have there can work again. So today we can only work with a small machine. If it had been in the past and we had access to our monies, we would have even paid for the new transformer to be put there so that work can go on. So work can go on. So there are a number of different things. When I went to Kumasi, a woman saw me. She was happy. Why? She says, Atreno, the spoon. What's Oyepa? We have started producing the spoons again from Elmina, or in Elmina. And she's been one of our customers. And she says that when she gets a supply, she has to wait and wait and wait because we are saying other people have a demand for the spoons. So she has to wait. So when are we going to do it, quickly? And I said, well, we are waiting for some funds and some encouragement, some other things, so that we can do more than the one shift and do a night shift as well. A woman at Malata is happy about the takeaway packages that we are bringing back. There's a company in Ghana who used to import trays from South Africa and China. Now they are having difficulties because of the exchange rate, and they've come to us that we used to produce these trays. Can we start producing them again? So it was Naumina. We've talked. We found some raw material. We are now, maybe in a couple of weeks, going to start producing the trays again. So I say that encouraging people is important for an administration. So I want to basically end by going through to show you the evidence of the destruction that has taken place, which needs to be corrected. But I'm saying that when GN Bank is restored, I'm saying it to everybody, it is not that just a bank is going to be restored. It's thousands of jobs directly with the bank, but then related with the other companies that then nearly collapsed because the bank went away. Not just because of the bank, but because those companies put their deposits, their monies in the bank or at the bank with the bank. So when those deposits were frozen, it went away. A number of them didn't work. The factory that produced takeaway packages, it stopped. The factory that assembled TVs, it stopped. And many other things. So I am saying to you that those who withheld our licenses, insurance, pension, and all of it, know that whatever difficulties that those companies experienced, they were because their monies were held with the receiver. The wrong they did is that they were related to us, and so we asked them to put their monies with the bank. And some of their monies were used to fund government contracts, which payments, even as I speak today, haven't come. I must acknowledge that a couple of our companies these past 2 weeks or so had received about 5% or so of their monies that they had that were locked up. 5%. So there's a lot that is going to be done once that license comes. Thousands of jobs within 6 months that will show up. So if we want this economy to move, even in a small way, let's give back the GN Bank license. And then let's see the real work, concrete work, practical work, real jobs that will show up again, and even many more. But until then, I will show you, because we put this booklet together, the state of GN Bank assets, and that even one vehicle that we found rotting in front of the Marquesim building, which many people pass by, the Ford Explorer. It has cost us right now, just that one vehicle, more than $50,000 to repair that vehicle. And I'm waiting for any state agency that is willing to receive that vehicle to see for themselves and see the receipts for the repair that has had to be done, because that vehicle sat there for 5 years. And imagine that we had so many more of those vehicles still sitting somewhere, rotting away. So let me show you whether somebody wants to see them or not. This is not far from Accra. Not far from Accra. This is Old Ningo and Pram Pram. Just take a look. Take a look. This is what has happened to valuable assets. Who was given the responsibility to look over these assets? And we are still in court over these. So even if, even if somebody said, oh, we had done something wrong, and so these assets should be given to the state, is that how you would look after state property? Causing loss? Is it deliberate? And the people who are given the responsibility to look after them, they are arguing that maybe we have doctored these things up, that they are not real. Such an insult. I have personally been to each and every one of these places. This, as I said, it's Old Ningo, it's Pram Pram. Let me show you. This is Pram Pram all over again. Pram Pram. All over again, Pram Pram. You see the individual in the hall, in the doorway there. That's me. I've been there. I have been there. Now, Takoradi. If you look over on the other side, these are records just pushed away like that. Valuable records pushed away like that, openly sitting there, rotting away in the property. Look at it. Takrady. Okay. Now, as I mentioned, Mankisim. That is the vehicle that is sitting there. That's what I was talking. That's the one that I was talking about. This vehicle. That vehicle. It's a Ford Explorer. It was just sitting there rotting away. Just in plain sight, plain view of anybody. And by the way, the generator that you see there, since we went there, somebody has gone to remove the generators and taken them away. We don't know where they took them. We don't know. And we have gone and cleaned up the compound in Mankisim. Gone and cleaned it up. Okay? That's Mankisim. Ekropong and Suhum. In the case of Ekropong, somebody, not from the receiver, not from government, a private person went to Ekropong and was bothered by what was happening there. So he went there, cleaned it up, repainted it. So if you go to Ekropong, it still looks good. But the one below, that's Suhum. Okay? Now, this is Enum Apapum. Look at it. Look at the destruction. So if someone says that they are disputing this, what are they disputing? What are they disputing? It's the state of affairs, okay? State of affairs. And someone might think that I'm doing politics with this, because I'm not doing politics with this. Okay, first, this is Bolgatanga. Take a look at Bolgatanga up there. But the one at the bottom, I'm saying it's not politics, but this is Wali Wali. You know the person who comes from Wali Wali, don't you? The vice president, he comes from Wali Wali. I don't think the vice president or anybody associated with him can say they don't know where the GN Bank building is, because it's in plain sight of the main road. This is the state of affairs there. Okay? And then, not far from there, you go to Savlugu. You see that structure that is on the ground there? That used to be the security posts. And look at Savlugu. Somebody actually broke into the building from the ceiling. And this is what is the state of affairs. Look at it. Look at this one here. Because that was the banking hall. Look at it. Okay? That's Savlugu, right? And Nantong, when you hear these names, you will see how far we went. That's Nantong. This is what is happening there. And then Gushegu, there's a minister of state, who is at Gushegu. Gushegu, that's me standing there. That's Gushegu. Okay. That is Roman Hill, me with a Chinese man who is now in what used to be our branch at Roman Hill. And then Obuasi. That's our building, Obuasi. And anyone who has heard me talk about First National, GN Bank, they know how I like Gemini. Gemini is one of my favorite towns in the Volta region, Gemini. I made sure that we personally went there. We put this building up from scratch. And the reason for Gemini is that Gemini is a market town. On a market day, you will find people from all over the country crossing the river, the lake, Volta Lake, to go and trade. The people, they used to go to our branch after they finish trading for the day, put their monies there, and then go to wherever they come from, Winneba, Elmina, Accra, wherever, and go and collect their money safely. Now we are gone. from Gemini, and there's nobody there taking our place. That's Gemini, that's me sitting in front of my building there. Okay, now locked up. There are many of them. Obviously, I can't show all of them, but there are many of them. This is Karaga. Karaga is where the Minister of Finance comes from, and he's the MP of Karaga. This is it. Look at the ceiling. Look at it. That's Karaga. Okay? Karaga. And this is right here in Accra. Right here in Accra. Malata. Malata. Look. People who had, and now they are being cleaned up. This one, I can tell you, is cleanup that has happened. This is Malata. Squatters, where a bank used to be. And I'm not going to show you many more, okay, because they're about all the same. This is Chopoli, okay, it's in the bush. And this one, Sege, look at someone drying fish, where we used to do banking. Someone drying fish. Someone who had turned our banking hall into a classroom. Okay, this is it. So as I said, there are many more. I can't show you all of them, but there are many more. That's the state of the assets. State of the assets. We worked hard. We worked very hard to start this, to build this business. I've told you today how in 1986 I became a partner with the then Touche Ross that has become Deloitte and Touche in the world. It's one of a handful of black partners. It was me, originally from Ghana. There was someone originally from Jamaica, and then only about five others out of 1,000 or so partners at that time. Partners of that time. Okay? And so if you go through this, all of those white faces that you see in this thing here, it's me in here as the partners and principals of Deloitte at that time. It's been a long journey. Put my experience and qualifications at the disposal of the country upon invitation by former President Kufuor. Did my bit. Brought monies, grants to Ghana. The examples, the evidence is there. And we invested our monies, the monies that I took from the US and brought them back here, that I could have been enjoying a comfortable retirement with. So once again, what am I looking for? What am I asking for? I'm just asking for our license back. Give us our license back, and we will help bring this economy back up, because we will provide permanent jobs, not just through the bank, but through related companies that are ready to work. And we have people, management people, employees who are ready to work. And we will sow bountifully so that the country can reap bountifully. So thank you once again for watching, for listening. I'll come back again next week, Wednesday. And on the 2nd of December, at about 2 o'clock in Elmina, I'm asking anyone who's close by, we are going to hold a Bring Back GN Bank rally in Elmina. First, to thank my people, my Elmina people. They've been behind me throughout, to thank them for their support and for their encouragement. I like it when they see me and they give me encouragement, motivation. But it's not just people in Elmina. There are people from all over the country. And I was thankful. Wherever I went this past week, Kumasi, Techiman, Amanting, Atebubu, Tamale, Bimbila, passing through Asa, Hohoi, back to Accra. I was grateful for the people's encouragement to say, we are happy to see you, that you are looking well. Well, they don't know the ailments that are there, but you're looking well, that you're alive, and that they want me to bring back what used to be there. So if you can, help to bring back what was there, and we will add many more things. So thank you for being here with me today. Thank you for your encouragement. And we'll be back with another edition a week from today. Have a good day.